Hello, and welcome to the Mommy and Me podcast. This podcast is hosted by a mommy and daughter duo. We dive deep into the things of life from our very own perspectives. We help Generation X, Millennials, and Generation Z deal with the trials of life. We cross connect the age groups to see eye to eye and get a better understanding of why we each do what we do. So stay tuned and let's get into the episode. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mommy and Me podcast. I'm Nicole, the daughter.
And I'm Simone, the mommy.
And welcome to today's episode. We thank you for joining us. So excited, y'all. Now, we've been talking a lot about pregnancy and having like a strategy for, taking care of your child. Now, this one is actually been on my heart a lot lately. This is the word that the Lord gave me. I want to say at the beginning of 2021, he said the word boundaries.
Yeah.
Boundaries. A lot of us lack him. A lot of us lack boundaries. I know I did.
That's so true.
I've been personally lacking boundaries for quite some time. And, I think it's really important for us to set them in place. I'm still learning how to respect my boundaries. And I'm learning that, when you set boundaries in place, you're actually respecting yourself more. You're not being mean to anybody. You have to have
No.
healthy boundaries.
Right.
So Mom, you ready to get into it?
Let's get into it. Let's talk about this. Let's go.
All right, so let's talk about the issue of not having systems and boundaries in place, because like we just said, there's a lot of us that don't have them, and it's just awful. It's awful. So what's your take on systems and boundaries, the having the lack of systems and boundaries?
Well, when we're talking about systems and is relevant everywhere in every aspect of life, right? You have a system for the way you cook, a system for the way you clean. I know I do. When I clean the kitchen, I like to make sure everything is cleaned off the counters, the stove, because when I finish doing my dishes, I want to be done with the kitchen. I find that that's the most laborious part for me. When I don't do that in that order, I get frustrated when I turn around and there's still pots on the stove and I've already washed the dishes. So bound systems are important to be able to give structure to your day and to your life. A part of having systems, one of the underlying requirements is to be disciplined. Because if you're not disciplined enough to have a system, then you're going to be undisciplined in everything you do. So that can speak to finances. It can speak to the way you manage your household and your children, the way you manage yourself. It's really important to know and recognize, okay, this isn't right. This is out of control. There needs to be something set up. Okay. And again, one of the easiest ways I know to set systems is I set a lot of alarms for myself. If I want to do something, right? I've taught you that. If you need to remember to do something, set an alarm for yourself. It's a simple way to be able to start on a schedule or moving towards progressing through your day, accomplishing your tasks, right? And when it comes to boundaries, you don't have to say yes to everything. Boundaries are what you're willing to do and what you're willing to not do to be able to maintain who you are and what type of environment you want to keep, right? What you're willing to do and what you're willing to not do, or what you're willing to say no to. And you don't have to be nasty about it. If someone asks you to do something and you continue to say yes to everything, you're taking on that pressure. The expectation is high. You know that your household requires, your presence 70, 80, 90% of the time. And the more you say yes to other people who come in and want to usurp your time, now who are you going to take time away from? You and your family, just to please someone who has nothing really to offer or to benefit your family. Your family can't benefit from that other person.
Right.
No, it's not worth it. So I believe the best way to set boundaries is to respectfully say, that won't work for me
Mm.
and my current schedule. It's okay to say no.
Right.
And you do not owe people an apology for anything.
Right.
You don't have to say, oh, I'm sorry, I can't, because they're the one who needs you for something. You didn't come seeking them for anything.
Mhm.
So as a new parent, it is really important to, establish boundaries when it comes to coming over. Oh, I want to come visit. I want to come this and that. Right? Can't you speak
Yeah,
to that, Nicole?
I can. And I want to comment on some of the things that you said previously when you first began. You said, though, boundaries and systems require discipline.
Mm,
And it's so true. And I feel that many of us lack that. We lack
right,
the discipline. We lack, being able to have integrity, self-integrity. That's really what it is. Discipline and self-integrity, saying, you know what, I'm going to do what I said I'm going to do because I love myself enough to have integrity to myself.
oh, that's so good. You bet. Whoa. Okay. Okay. What are we at? 3 minutes in and we already stopped the podcast? That is awesome. But it's so true.
Mhm.
It is. You have to recognize yourself as worthy enough
Yeah.
to be disciplined and pull that self-integrity out to
'Cause it's
support you. Yes,
exactly, because it's hard though. It really is
it is.
hard to learn how to respect yourself. And people shout self-care, self-care. This is a part of self-care, is
Right,
setting boundaries, knowing your extremes, knowing what you're going to do and what you're not going to do and why, and not
right.
having to say, I'm sorry for not jumping off a bridge with you.
Okay.
It's
Yes.
just, you have to set those boundaries in place.
Right. Definitely. I mean, boundaries, it sounds like it could be a wicked word, but it's not, right? Okay, think of a basketball game. When you're in the game and you're playing and the game is going, right? You're going from one end of the court to the other. What happens when you step out of bounds? Everything stops. Everything stops. The game stops. The ball is no longer in play. And that's the same, that's a similar incidence when you're talking about life. You step out of bounds or you allow someone to step out of bounds. Wait, whoa, now you're throwing me off. I was on my game. I had my schedule. I had my system. And now you're asking me to step over here to accommodate you. My ball is not over there. My ball is in my court. Okay, I'm keeping my ball in my court. You keep your ball over there. So, okay, that's about as athletic as this little podcast is about to get. So,
Okay, because we
okay,
some unathletic
it
people.
just, it just WNBA is not checking for us. Mhm.
I'm
But
curious.
but the whole point is when you step out of bounds and you allow people to draw you out of bounds, what you had going on for yourself, your game is halted. So get your head in the game and stay disciplined, stay focused, and tell them, no, I can't go over there. I can't do that. That's not going to work out for me. I will not be able to accommodate this time.
Hey, y'all. Let's take a quick break to shout out our sponsors. Who are you? How are you supposed to behave? And what in the world is a woman's true identity? Society has had women confused about who they really are. But no more. In 60 Day Affirmations for Daughters, Wives, and Mothers, Nicole dives deep into the Bible and breaks down who you really are in Christ. In this book, you'll realize who you are, what you're called to do, and recognize the power and authority that is gifted to you as the daughter of the Most High God. This is not a book to skip over. If you are someone or you know someone that's been struggling to discover their identity, this is the book for you. So don't wait any longer. Grab your book, grab your copy by going to NicoleCOdom.com/books. Again, that's NicoleCOdom.com/books. Now let's get back into the episode.
Hey, it's no longer okay to do that to people. Just like when I text you, and you're texting me back and I'm like, let me just call her. And I pop up with the FaceTime call and stuff. That's just the same thing as you popping up at the door.
No, for real. That's why I answer like I do sometimes. I'm like, hey, Mom.
Hey. And so I realized that, and I stopped doing that because what my thought process was the first couple times that I did it, and then I caught on, was, oh, she has a moment. Maybe I can, catch a glimpse of Jace or whatever they're doing. But then I realized, no, I taught her about boundaries. And why am I now stepping out of bounds to be able to assert myself where I'm not really welcomed or invited? So it's okay to text somebody and say, hey, do you have a minute to chat? Is this a good time? If they don't reply, don't get mad. You don't know what's going on in their life. If they text you or say, or they don't, or if they text you back, right? And they say, okay, let me call you back in a few minutes, or I can't talk right now. They don't have to explain why.
Right.
They don't owe you anything but to love you. And you keep messing around, they ain't gonna do that. So, but the point is, respect people's boundaries, because it is so important. It's so important to be able to say, they might not be able to have me over right now. They may be going through something. Let me just back off and realize that this can wait. If it's urgent, let them know, okay, call me back because it's really important that I talk to you today. Let them know that, but then offer them the opportunity to get themselves in order based on whatever it is that they're going through in their home or at work or wherever it is that they are.
And it's a form of respect. Again, it's just respecting that person, respecting that they love themselves as you should too, and it's not a bad thing. You are literally, when you begin to set systems and boundaries in place, I know we're talking about boundaries, we'll get into systems in a minute, but when you set boundaries in place, you literally have to sit there and assess yourself. You have to sit there and assess what you like, what you don't like, your priorities in life. And actually, shoot, let's go ahead and get into that now, Mom. What, these things that it takes to create your your boundaries is assessing your pillars, your pillars in life, the things that you prioritize in life. So for me, I understood, because my foundation is scripture. My foundation is the word of God. So I took that, what he wrote in there, which is my first pillar is always faith, my relationship with God. Secondly, I have my husband, my children, my family. Third is my health and fitness, then finance, then fun, and freedom and hobbies and stuff. But what this is once you get to assess your pillars in life, how you structure your life, your priorities, you will able to have peace. You will able to set those boundaries and protect your peace. If you say, okay, I know now, if I say faith is my number one, yet when I wake up, I hop immediately on social media. Social media is fun. So my priorities are way out of whack. I have number 5 at number 1. What's happening? okay, my friend called me and asked me to hang out, but I was supposed to go on a date with my husband.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. You
Priorities are out of whack.
right. Right, right. Oh, that's so good. That is so good. So yeah, what is and the thing is, priorities is something that came about from I don't know who, because really you should have one priority and everything else just falls in line with that. So your main priority takes over, right? And yours is faith. So you know that above all else, in order to establish the structure of your day, you have to start with that cornerstone to be able to build the structure of your day. For your husband or for anybody else, it might be fitness. You start your day off. Yes, you spend time with the Lord. He has to get into the gym. He's got to work out. Otherwise, everything else falls apart for him, or anybody else. You know, pillars. What do pillars do? What are they for? They're to help hold up structure, right? When you think of a pillar in a home, some of them are weight bearing, some of them are just adornments, but the ones that are really forceful, the ones that are in place to be able to hold up the upper level and the lower level, it's the structure that's being supported by these pillars. So, as you stated, taking care of yourself, your faith, and all of that, those are the pillars that hold up the structure that is you. And don't neglect that. Establishing that is important, recognizing it, identifying it, cultivating it. You know, you want to stay focused on what your pillars are so that your structure stays in place. And then from that, you can develop your systems to maintain each pillar.
Definitely. And I would say, make sure that you don't have your pillars out of whack. Like when you're building your house, when you're building yourself, when you're building your systems and boundaries, just make sure that you have your systems in order, because you don't want to have a pillar that is meant for decoration in the place for a
Of support.
pillar that's supposed to be the support, the weight bearer.
Ooh, that's good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that's right. No, you're so right, because the weight bearing pillars are the ones that take the brunt of the structure. They
Mhm.
have to really hold it up. And the others, like you said, are adornments.
Yeah.
They're still important to you, but it's not what solidifies your foundation. I remember when I was younger and had you guys, and um, I was always expected to go out. Okay, so this is a scenario when I was a single mom. I
Mhm.
had separated, actually, I was divorced from your dad. And you and your brothers, would hang out and stuff like that in the evenings, on the weekends, when I would go out with the girls, go out with the girls. And that became a part of my life for several months until until I realized that what am I doing out here? Why
Mhm.
am I out here in the club when I could be home making sure my children are safe, are okay? There's nothing in these clubs that I want to see. My priorities were out of whack. They were really out of whack. Thankfully, nothing negative happened to you guys, nothing negative happened to me being
Mhm.
out there up and down on the road, you know. And for me, I just realized after, and it took me a minute, because a minute to pull away. Let me finish that thought. We would go out like every Saturday. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of the same music ringing in my ears.
Yeah.
And so when I come home, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, I want to sleep all day the next day. But then
Mhm.
it's time for church. And then I started neglecting that.
Mm.
And I started to feel it. And when your children ask you, Mommy, are we going to church today? And you say no because you're hungover or you're sleepy from the club, that there's something wrong with that. in my book. I didn't like that. But it took me about a month of Saturdays before I really pulled away from my friends and said, look, I can't do this anymore. Oh no, come on, let's go. It'll be fun. I can't go without you. No. And I gave into that a few times. But where were my priorities? I was out of bounds. I was out of bounds.
Yeah, you didn't respect your own boundaries.
I did not.
And your friends didn't respect your boundaries either. They had no boundaries.
Right. No.
I
Not
love
at the
y'all if
time.
y'all listening, but y'all,
Yeah.
there was no boundaries at that point.
We did not think of it that way. We just knew that on the weekend we're going to get together as girls and go hang out because, we didn't have men or whoever we had in our lives. They weren't serious, and just hanging out with the girls. And we did have fun, but it became almost rote. It just became the thing to do on the weekends. And that's not what I wanted to do anymore. So I had to finally pull away.
And that's hard,
It is. It is. I mean, I still met up for, little ladies' lunch or something like that. That's fine. But when you talk about systems now, I think the most important thing is, remember when I used to have a cleaning schedule for the house?
Oh my goodness, those were the best. I hated them at the time, but they're really the
Now
best.
you look back, it made sense.
Yeah.
Sunday through Saturday, you all had your own special colored cup that you had to wash. Don't use any more of my glasses in the sink or in the cabinets. Everybody had their own special color. And if it's dirty, you have to wash it and reuse it. And that's how I kept track of that. And everybody had their designated day to wash their laundry and so on and so forth. So the same principle applies to daily life. Like if you have a family out there, for our listeners, if you have young ones, they can still help with cleanup time. They can still help with preparing dinner or breakfast or lunches. Give them little chores to start integrating them into the system.
No, and I kid you not, they will help. Like my son, he is about to be 20 months old, almost 2 years old. And he'll come and he'll help me with the dishes. He'll help me, I'll hand them to him from the sink and he'll put it in the dishwasher wherever he can reach. Then when we go to the laundry room, he'll help me put the clothes from the wash to the dryer, from the dryer to the basket. And the thing is, you don't think that it's doing anything. Really, you may think it's slowing you down in the moment, but what they're doing is they're learning how to help you. They're learning how to do chores. They're learning how to clean up. So systems, it's a strategy, because once they get older, they'll be able to be like, oh, easy. This is fun to me.
Yes. Yeah, I know how to do this. It becomes a part of their daily care, who they are, and then as you progress, as he gets older and starts really identifying what's a dark colored clothing, what is light colored clothing, and so on and so forth, he can help you sort the laundry or start sorting his own laundry. You'll be surprised, make a little game out of it. Exactly.
But with the systems, though, I want to give some practical steps, because people may be like, okay, how do I create a cleaning schedule? How do I, and that, boy, that's hard sometimes. It is really challenging, because if you actually want to get a good clean, I know my mom, every Saturday, we just had the little gospel music, you little Mariah Carey Christmas carols.
Okay. I don't want a lot for Christmas. Get up and clean.
When I say Ryan and I were in the room just playing Sleep as long as we could. Oh my gosh. Yeah. You come in, get up, y'all up, get up.
Yeah.
She had that music blasting, y'all.
Take your sheets off with.
Okay, take the sheets off when you come out. But the thing is, what you want to do, just some things that I've done, some things I've seen my mom do, just write out. Let me say this real quick, y'all. My mom always told me, you cannot eat an elephant whole. You have to start with a small piece.
One bite at a time.
One bite at a time. So you say, all right, when I'm making out my to-do list, just get a blank sheet of paper, a blank document, and think about the kitchen. All right, what needs to be done every week? What needs to be done every day? What needs to be done every month? Right? And maybe
Precisely.
even quarterly. I mean, I don't think anything in the kitchen really should be done quarterly. I think it needs to be done like monthly and below. But you say, all right, with the kitchen, I understand I need to clean out the fridge and wipe it down and sanitize it. I understand that I need to wipe down my cabinets and the handles in there probably every week, at that point. Maybe, especially with all these germs going around.
More frequently than that, yeah.
Exactly. Maybe 3 times a week, just get the Clorox wipes and just wipe it down real quick, spray it with some Lysol, something. All right, boom. We know we gotta mop every week, sweep every day, blase skippy. Now you know what needs to be done in the kitchen. Then you go to the living room, then to your bedroom, then with the laundry and with the kids and with the back door, the outdoor area. But this is how you set it in place. Once you get that in order, literally get a whiteboard or a Excel spreadsheet, something where you could say, all right, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, this is what I'm going to do on this day. This is my dedicated day for cleaning the kitchen, period. That's all I'm going to do that day. The kitchen and the bathroom maybe. And then you allocate. And what I found useful for myself was I created a spreadsheet that had the days of the month, just Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and I wrote out every third Tuesday, I'm going to do this. Every fourth Wednesday, I will do this, and it makes it simple and easy so that you can see an overview of what you have going on.
Right. That's
Your thoughts,
good.
Mom?
Yeah, I like that because when you think about cleaning, it can get overwhelming. It can get very overwhelming if you leave everything for one day a week. I like to deep clean once or twice a month because if you stay on top of it, stay on top of it that way, it's not so bad. It really isn't. So when I consider deep cleaning is taking when you're vacuuming, vacuum the baseboards, vacuum the vents in the bathroom, cleaning your ceiling fans, taking the hand nozzle from your vacuum and going around the corners of the doors and the creases between the wall and the carpet, if you have it, and the wall and the whatever type of flooring you have, period, because dust likes to ball up and go in those little small spaces. Make sure you change your air conditioning vent whenever you pay your rent or your mortgage so that your air is always fresh in your home. So the point is, I'm not going to go down the whole laundry list. But whatever it is you do to maintain your home, write those things down. Room, as Nicole said, and contingent upon how heavy it is. If you're top heavy in laundry, you may need to do laundry 2 to 3 times per week instead of spending an entire Saturday or Sunday doing it. So maybe Monday night you can do laundry, or Wednesdays, or whatever days you designate, and you just do a certain portion of the laundry. I'll change my sheets on this day, sheets and towels on this day, clothing for these 2 people in the home on this day, clothing for the other 2 people in the home on that day. And it becomes more manageable, even though there's always something to do. Vacuuming or cleaning your flooring. I always thought to myself, if I see a clean home, if my home is clean, but my carpet is unvacuumed, to me, I liken it to be like a woman who's well dressed, but her hair is a mess. You're going to see the makeup is on point, looking good. The outfit is crisp. I mean, lined up, ironed, tight, really, really looking good. but then the hair is a mess. You're not doing anything. So the look is not complete. Clean floors matter. And another thing I like is to clean my trash cans, because you never know what has leaked out or seeped out or whatever. Spend a day a month, right? To be able to just give your trash cans a good washing out, cleaning up. Because I always tell you, I always wipe those things down. Just because it's garbage doesn't mean it's gotta look like trash. So keep that nice and clean. But once you get a system for yourself with regard to cleaning, you'll find that it's a lot more manageable for you in your household.
I agree. You know, and we want you guys to know, like, this is not just about cleaning. This is not just, their systems apply to everything. And it can be a process building it up, but you have some time. Just make sure that you're working diligently to set those things in place. Now, something that I want to kind of transition to with the systems is your finances. Make sure that, I know they have some apps that you can use to track your finances and your spending and savings. Use those. If you don't want to get an app, get a spreadsheet. I know, mom, you've been blessed with a husband that knows numbers, so he could break down Excel. But if you don't, literally
Right.
just look it up, just some basic spreadsheets, and write things in. Make sure that your money is ordered. If your money is not ordered together,
Mm-hmm.
we already
Yeah.
know what happens when our money's not together.
Yeah. I mean, systems can go all throughout everything that we do in your life. So definitely finances. Set a date every day. I'm sorry, set a day every week to review what's upcoming and what needs to be paid.
Mhm.
And make sure you have a plan for paying it. And
Right.
if not, make sure you have a plan for making an arrangement to pay it later, whatever your situation is.
That actually leads me into structuring our days. And one thing that I learned, mom, is that if I don't have my days planned out, I feel as though there's no purpose to that day, and then it is so
Mm.
not productive.
Oh, that is so good. That is so true. It's so true. Because, you wake up in the morning, and if you don't have a sense of intention and sense of purpose, it really does make you feel like, okay, what am I here for? What am I supposed to be doing?
Yeah.
And then before you know it, the full day has passed, and you really haven't accomplished as much as you could have had you had a plan.
I mean, I feel like all of this really does go back to boundaries and your priorities, because if you set
Mhm.
those things in place, everything else will be easy to set up. The recording your emotions and your thoughts, making yourself a priority, structuring your day, making sure
Mhm.
that you have a purpose to every day, your goals and things like that. Your finances, you can't do anything on this earth right now like without finances.
Yeah.
Family and friends, period. You have to set healthy boundaries with them.
Mhm.
You have to. And then personally, you have to just have integrity. Let your yes be yes and your no be no without having to explain yourself. Set those healthy boundaries with yourself and include your personal time. Include your
Definitely.
personal time.
Yeah. You deserve the best part of you so that you can give the best part of you.
Oh,
Yes, take time to allow yourself time with yourself so
mhm.
that you can improve upon whatever it is you need to improve, so that accept yourself, so that you're ready to be able to pour into others. Boundaries are so important, systems are important, and just it helps with getting your life together.
It all plays a role together, y'all. So
Yeah.
that's just, I mean, that's all I have, just assess yourself, assess your priorities in life, assess your boundaries. If you don't have any, set some in place, and then add systems. And I guarantee, watch your life transition in 6 months if you have the integrity and the discipline to do it.
Mm, absolutely. Okay. Well, this has been good, and I'm glad that whatever I started when I was younger, when I
Mhm.
didn't know what was going on, has really transitioned over into how you operate today as a beautiful young woman with her own family. I'm so grateful that I blessed you like that. And it's just a pleasure to be your mom. I love you so much.
Oh, mom, I love you.
I do. I'm grateful for this platform. Thank you all for listening. And until next week, fist bumps and deuces. Take care of yourself.
Bye.
Bye bye.